Kyle, congratulations on being inducted to the 2024 M Club Hall of Fame. Man, what an accomplishment for an outstanding career that you had at Morningside from 2010 to 2013. I'm extremely honored to be able to introduce you to the rest of the class. Man, our relationship started back in 2011 when I joined the Morningside football staff. And it started out in a shaky year of 2011 that ended up fostering and growing into an outstanding career, not only for you to finish up in 13, but also to help me grow and develop over those years as well. And I think you started a legacy that lasted a long time and is still going on at Morningside. And when I think back in those years, I think back all the way to 2011 specifically, when you caught the game-winning Hail Mary catch against Midland. I think it was week 5. I'll never forget it. I made a fake newspaper article that week with all their DBs talking trash about how bad our receivers were and this and that and whatever. You probably don't even remember this, but I do. I still have the file. And we went into that game, and it's a back and forth game. I think it was 14-14. Colby Henderson probably had the 14 points at that time. But what it came down to was we threw a double pass. Anvil Sensabaugh, we pitched the ball to him. He threw a double pass, got a late hit, roughing the quarterback that put us in position to throw a Hail Mary at the end of the game. And we threw that Hail Mary, and you came down with it. And honestly, that was probably one of the most spectacular plays of my career as a coach. Just seeing you go up and get that ball and come down with it was outstanding. But the biggest thing that you probably don't realize was that set the trajectory of what Morningside football is today. I mean, think about it. I think we just lost to Nebraska Wesleyan the week before. You know, Sioux Falls had left the conference. It was a big moment in terms of the season. We were playing Midland. They were undefeated. I think they were ranked 7th or somewhere up in the top 10 anyways. They were undefeated. They had cats all over the field. And I remember going into that, we won that game. They lost every game after that, ended up getting their coaching staff fired. And we went on to win every single game after that, won the conference, and set the standard for what it was going to be and where we were going to go from there. And I think back on that catch and that game, and you know, as coaches, we talk about it, no play in a game wins or loses you, but that one won the game. And that one probably set the standard for what it was to be in Morningside football, to never give up, never give in, and to fight. And you fight to the end. And I think back on those and those specific games and how special they were, but also going into the national championship in 2012 with basically you and McCabe and Austin Klett never coming off the field, basically taking every single snap of every single game and leading this way all the way to the national championship, and then just thinking about the plays that you made. I mean, I remember I still have the picture of the catch you made over the Marion defenders to get us a critical first down, and then 2 plays later you catch a Vikings for a touchdown and to tie it up. And it's just one of those where I think the moment was never too big for you, and you always just had cool nerves, and you had some of the best hands that I've ever coached. And man, I when I think back about the national championship, probably the one thing that I remember too is going into it the day before we were leaving. We had practice and there was a blizzard, and it was just miserable. I mean, it was slushy, it was wet, there was probably 2 inches of just gunk all over the field, and we went out and probably had one of our best practices of the year. But probably before that was you came out in these oven mitt gloves. I don't even know what they were, like welding gloves of some sort, and they were gigantic, and you're just like, I'll be good. I get my break in between series, I'll put my gloves on, and I'll go back out. And you did. You caught everything. And, you know, that's the part when I think back on your career was, you know, you had some amazing stats, 20 touchdowns as a junior, 20 touchdowns as a senior. You won National Player of the Year in 2013, but it was just the way you went about your business. You know, we joked all the time that you weren't the fastest guy on the field, and you weren't by any means, but you were a smooth route runner. And it probably changed on how I looked at the position and how we recruited to find guys like you. And there was a lot of guys, you know, after your time that, you know, to me resemble characteristics that you had. Jason Vanderkooy, Reed Jurgensmeyer, guys that just had amazing hands, long frame, that just fought. And they were tough minded, gritty people. And I think that's a big part of what made you so special. Obviously you had an amazing career, but the number of big time catches and amazing catches you made. I remember we would just go in this film room on Sundays after games and just kind of chuckle about, can you believe that he made that catch? It was something special. I mean, you had 73 catches and 1,400 yards in your senior year to win the National Player of the Year. And as a junior, you had 67 catches and 1,000 yards. Both, you had 20 touchdowns in both years. That's just, and back then it was crazy. And I know numbers have kind of changed, but like there wasn't the RPO world back then. We were just starting to dabble in it as you left and go on from there. But probably the other things I remember that about you that weren't as a player was, I think it was 2011, the summer going to 11 or summer going to 12. I'm a little foggy on it, but you were nowhere to be found. I remember trying to reach out to you, call you, text you, would maybe get something from you once a month over the summer, trying to figure out if you're going to come to workouts, trying to figure out if you're going to be around for 7-on-7. And I think after the fact, we found out that you were just driving around Iowa buying old wrecked cars or whatever you were and then selling them to make money. I have no idea, but you weren't around, and you started off fall camp slow, and so you weren't named a starter to begin. And then here you go to be the 2013 National Player of the Year, and just to think about that you weren't the starter at the beginning of the year is just beyond me. But it's also one of those when I pull around Rosa Verdorn and I see a pickup truck and I'm looking for Kyle Schuck as we got 7-on-7 going on. And I pull up to the pickup truck knowing it's his truck. The hood's popped and I'm looking around and I can't find him. And next thing you know, I'm like, Kyle. And then you just pop up out from underneath the hood. You were literally sitting up inside the truck. You were inside the truck working on something in the engine. I have no idea. It's beyond me, but you were just like, what? I got to get this fixed. Sorry. If this is what I got to do. This is the most important thing. And besides your love for just what you enjoyed most in your life, the family, your family coming to the games, every single game, wherever we traveled, wherever we played, they meant the world to you. I remember your sisters, your brother-in-law, your nieces and nephews coming to the game, all wearing your Schuck shirts, your 88 Schuck shirts, and just they're always there to support you. And I know how much family meant to you, and I know that your dad is a big influence in your life, and that's why you spent your summer doing what you really enjoyed. And that made me really think about how each player is different, and but also makes them a very, very special person and who they are. And so it's one of those that you were always going to have a good time, no matter what. You were always going to have a good time, and it didn't matter how hard practice got. You just kept going, but it was just you guys. You made it fun, and I think that's a part of being a championship caliber team. Is you're going to put in the hard work, but you got to find the little things that make it really, really enjoyable, because you got to put in a lot of time to be great. And I'll never forget you guys making up whatever it is, your own lingo, your language, or whatever, with you and Boger and a bunch of those guys in your class. Saying, hey, booty, all the time or whatever. And I know you're laughing right now because at that same time, there was that Finding Sasquatch movie or TV show, and we used to say it just like they used to scream the Sasquatch sound. So I know you remember all that. And the countless and probably more inappropriate things of your little language and how you guys did it. But you guys would do it in the middle of practice, both offense and defense, banter back and forth. And I think that's one thing that just separates you from a lot of other people is although you put in the work, you were also going to have a lot of fun while you were doing it. And you were lighthearted about it. It didn't consume you. You still lived your life. You still enjoyed everything about what you like to do and your passion outside the game. But I think that's what ultimately helped you be really, really successful within this game. And the moment was never too big for you. And man, am I proud of you. I love you. I love seeing where you guys are at right now with your family and how successful you are. And I wish you the best. But man, congratulations on being inducted in the 2024 Hall of Fame. I couldn't be more proud as a coach to be a part of this. I wish I could be there today, but unfortunately, I got to go beat Concordia St. Paul today and continue this legacy that you started a long time ago with the Bomb Squad. So proud of you, man. I love you. Celebrate. Have a great day.